Suck to do the going live now. Alright. If you're wondering why I didn't stream yesterday, I was just sick, so happens. Not really much I can do about it. I might cut this down to like 6 days then, but I don't really know, maybe I can like squeeze in an extra day of my spring break or something. I'm gonna be out of town like the 3rd and the 4th at least. Well, I guess I'd just be banking on the 5th. I'll just play it by ear, I think. First order of business is going to be figuring out where we need states. Oh, this seems like an asshole place. Dude, not these ones? Yeah, that's a complete asshole placement, Buster on there. This is gonna be like the hardest thing to allow in the game, I swear. Something like that, maybe? This was just like segments, and even if it wasn't just segments, this is like the first stage of the route. I probably wouldn't need to get extremely consistent with that. I mean, if I were to put it later in the route, I could just like generate Guardian Blade over it, but I'm not putting it later in the route. Actually... Is it just that simple? Okay, it's not just that simple. I think I just underestimated how hard this room would be by a lot. Fucking hell. Jeez, dude. This just seems kind of like meat grindery, I can't lie. I don't think it's like it's not RNG. I'm just not fully understanding how this gets consistent. I'm busy trying to find like the answer to this, basically. Oh yeah, also you can't just like... There you go, like... Okay, that's what we gotta do for that. This is a fucking hard first stage, dude, jeez. And it's not like I can just, like, go take care of Centaur, like, immediately, either. Centaur is, like, probably the least consistent stage of the run, and also... Weakness is kind of not even that good on one night. So I think I just gotta block this. I think I just gotta block these. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. Fucking hell! Okay, the strat here is that. That's the strat. I'm gonna have to put a state for like every single room in this. Kind of feels like that's what it's gonna be. Okay, that's what you do there. Okay, we got a couple easy rooms. Now this is just a matter of how to trigger these safely. I think it's gonna be... You're gonna have to, like, stall a bit. Just to make sure the cycles aren't horrible. Okay, so I hear a charge. Okay, wait for that part of the cycle specifically. I'll practice Knight a bit just to see what the vibe is. I think once I get out of the first, like, 3, it'll be a lot less. Like, this does seem like a first, like, 3 rooms kinda. Oh my god, I don't have my input display up. That's what I was missing. Give me a sec. I think it's just kind of a... I think this is a fight where you want to, like, be closer to him, because I think it's... I'm pretty sure that this is a fight where, like, the amount of time he takes to travel each time he homes in on you is the same, but that means that if you're closer to him, he's gonna take the same amount of time to travel less distance. I could be pulling that out of my ass, but... yeah, that's what's happening here. So, like, close in on him, so you just have less of a reaction speed check. I think, like, half screen away is, like, Goldilocks zone? Because before then you're anticipating too much, and then you're just gonna jump too early and get hit. You do want it to still be a reaction. I don't know if it's, like, random, variance and delays or anything. It might be. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Actually, maybe it is just a better idea to keep your distance. Maybe it's just like a pick or poison thing. Also, figuring out when he's gonna stop doing the diagonal down the center attack is gonna be annoying. I forgot how fun it is to lab in Mega Man. Like, for long-term consistency. It's just a very fun game to solve problems in. I do wish that, like, weakness was that actually did anything on this fight. Like, that's just kind of something you gotta tank, I think. Like, is that just a complete luck check? Like, I don't think that's reactable, and also I don't know what you're supposed to do. Cause, like, you've gotta... Do you have to, like, tap? Or maybe it's... like, go to each corner? Like, maybe it's, like, corner yourself so you don't have to, like, jump as high? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Yeah, this is if I were to actually do full game runs of this fight seems extremely meat grinder. But maybe it gets consistent, I don't know. No, even if you, like, slide away from the center, you're still... It's sliding away from the center. Trying to, like, delay it still gets you hit by the shockwave. If the shockwave didn't exist, it would be, like, fine. Like, there! I just don't see how you're supposed to have any, like, counterplay. With my strat anyway, am I gonna have to, like, go look at other stuff? You have to, like, just directly hold center? Like, hold center, no directional inputs? Nope. That gets you hit by the... down. If I get to a point where I'm just not having fun with this, I'll just, like, pivot to something else. Or, like, not having fun with this specific fight, I'll just go to later in the game. Like, I don't see how you're supposed to have any consistent counterplay to that. I'll check videos, but... Just see what's out there. Okay, so I think the thing is just you have to react to when it's swapped. You can't just work under the assumption that it's going to be... You can't just work under the assumption that it's going to be diagonals all the way down. You have to actually react. Think of it's a random amount of diagonals. Look, I don't see how that's reactable. Yeah, like, I just genuinely don't understand how that's, like, a reactable situation. Is my issue. And, like, you can't afford to not react. Like, there's just not a good enough tell to, like, get any meaningful intel. If you, like, went down slower, you would be able to actually do something with it, but... Actually, is the play just, like, go in the corner? Maybe that is the play. like, go, like, try and, like, steer in a direction where you're actually gonna have more leeway. That's still, like, praying, basically. It's better than nothing, at least. Okay, that's a lot better than nothing, actually. Just, like, walk away from the center. That is probably your best bet. Maybe I'm just biased because I don't know this fight yet, but this fight feels like it would be harder than, like, any BM 1.2 fight besides Final Boss. I think I consistent anyway, just doing it once is probably easier than doing base once. Okay, treat the walking as the default action. Like, just always walk and then react to what you have to dodge. That, like, aids in the reaction time a lot. Maybe you can, like, full jump or something? Okay, I don't think full jumping is gonna help. Besides, maybe for the first one. I think after that, your, like, distance is too variable for it to really be useful. I think the rule is that it can't do the same attack more than 5 times in a row. Like, it can't do the, it can't, like, do the, like, horizontal. It can't do the, like, circle into, I don't know how to, like, explain the attacks, but it can't do that attack more than 5 times in a row, and it can't do the diagonal, like, X attack more than 5 times in a row. That's, like, the cap before it swaps to the other attack. Okay, I can see how this gets consistent now, at least to an extent. Still really hard, but I am at least. I still don't get how this is, like, casual players, like, first... I still don't get how this is, like, the, like, go-to first place for casual players. It's not like a Metal Man situation where it's easy boss slash stage and best weapon in the game. It's still probably the best weapon in the game, even if I think it's a bit of a fraud compared to Jetsuit. But this is, like, not the type of fight I would expect to be, like, the most common thing to do at the start of the game. But also the weakness doesn't help, so, like, fair enough. I still don't know what determines what first time it comes out. Is it, like, position? Is it position when it goes up? That would make sense, but I can also just see it being completely random. Also, what does it do if it's in the center? Okay, you can kill it in like 2 cycles pretty consistently. Good to know. I kind of just mentally decided I didn't want to consider the idea of him going a 5th time, so I just treated it like he was confirmed going up. Yeah, I just need to figure out what causes, like, the first one. Or, actually, maybe that's not what I need to do there. Maybe what I need to do there is just get to the center. And then play the, cornering game from there. Oh, I forgot I still have that tab open. Okay, I do think get to the center is the game plan, but it's like you're not always in, most of the time really, you're not in the best situation to be getting to the center. I've already been on this for like 30 minutes? Jesus. Thankfully, I think later stages are going to be, like, less learning than this one. I mean, I already have a segment, at least. I already have X1 and replaying it casually. And X4 is going to take, like, 2 minutes tops. So really, I only have, like, 14 segments to get. I think I'm gonna save Wily 3 for last. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Non-zero chance is like the entire... Non-zero chance this is like the entire stream, just this one stage. I don't really see a world where this isn't the hardest early game stage. By like a good margin. The stages I'm worried about are X3, Wily 2, and Wily 3. So I could see this easily being like a top 4, top 5 hardest stage of the game. I think if I go past like 1140 and I still don't have this, I'll just move on to later segments. Like, I expect Tomahawk to be a way easier segment than this. Maybe I just, like, do an attempt of, like, trying to get here? Yeah, I'll try and play from start. And just see what I can get. See if I can get past, like, the enemy placement of immense pain and devastation. I just realized I could draw a circle around my guitar for no reason again. Oh my fucking god. I forgot that's how that enemy works. I forgot that's how that enemy type works. Literally, it's complete piss now. Don't worry, GM Brain still exists in Mega Man. GM Brain is alive and well in other games. So now third screen is the hardest screen in the stage. Okay, we got to the fight at least. But we got a segment of the stage. Now let's see if we can get the boss too. Nope, we cannot. I think I'm starting to get too preemptive. I'm starting to, like, intentionally not jump on the third one, because I think it's not gonna be there on the third. I think it's gonna, like, go up instead of still doing the, X attack. If I don't no-hit the fight by 1140, I'm just gonna move on. I think that's my best run on this so far. I think I just sunk cost fallacied myself a little. Now I feel compelled to like keep letting it rock until I get it. I have no clue how long I'm gonna go for tonight. Back-to-back one-hits. Is it always 3 the first time? Let me just like jump a little to make sure that I'm not just consistently getting the same RNG values. Well, like if it is always 3 the first time, that makes this like way easier to deal with, but I don't think that's how it works. Starting to look a little like that. Starting to look a little like that. Okay, I think I was just kind of tweaking because I was also starting to notice that it was always looked like it was like 5. It always looked like the second cycle was 5 X attacks, and I don't think that's what it is. I say I think, like I didn't just see it do 3 on the second cycle. About to ask why I have so many jump key inputs today, and then I remembered, oh yeah, no slide button. You kinda do jump with down plus, you kinda do slide with down plus jump. That'll do it. That'll definitely do it. Got it! Finally! Finally, finally, finally. I'll see how I do on full stage now that I have a winning attempt. Okay, good. Probably better to just do that. Like, walking. I can't say I do. No, I can't say I live in Zagoria. I have received a DM. What could this possibly be about? Or I know what it could be about, but what could this DM's contents possibly be about? Why could you possibly be DMing me about Vologda Oblast? Or... it's just the exact same thing? How did this come into your peripheral vision? How is this a thing you know about now? Oh, I see. Wiki gotcha. Yeah, that'll do it. Fuck, that reminds me, the one time I was doing... the one day that I got, like, into Wiki Gacha, I checked the raid boss, and it was fucking Anthony Davis. Not only was it Anthony Davis, but his defense was higher than his attack, which is really funny considering the fact that he's like... I mean, I guess it does kind of make sense considering he's like more of a defensive player and everything, but also he like gets injured every 2 games, so like kind of at odds there. He's like a high defense but low HP kind of guy. I guess. Toronto Ravine system, ultra rare. I didn't even know those had systems. I didn't even know ravines could be systematic. Am I wrong for that? Okay, you can just kill that on 1 cycle, good to know. The annoying thing about editing this video when I actually have to edit the runs together is like, this isn't like GD where a run is like short enough that you can just like splice it in between the highlights. You're gonna need to, like, actually accommodate for it, which is annoying. Let's see. Just kind of lost the 50-50 there. I'll probably try to come up with more, like, consistent strats once I'm doing the Wily 3 segments. Because you kind of can't just tank it there. I don't even think there's a very high chance that I do Wily 3 in 1 segment. Honestly. Like, I think there's a very low chance I get the full 16 segments. If only because Wily 3. Good luck being right back. Oh yeah, also I mentioned this when I edited the first, like, 30 minutes of yesterday's stream? Not yesterday's stream, the first 30 minutes of 2 days ago's stream. Yesterday was kind of sludge because of the mystery one-day sickness. The most notable thing I did was finish Chainsaw Man. Because I was like 10 chapters out of date, and I decided to like reread the entirety of part 2 before the finale came out. I don't know what to think about the final, like, couple chapters. Get back to me in a year. It kinda, I'm not gonna spoil it, but all I'm gonna say is that it feels like if Evangelion ended on the scene in episode 26 where the gif of Rei with, like, the toast running to class with the toast in her mouth came from. It feels like if it ended on that scene of Evangelion. I have genuinely no clue what to think about the ending, is the thing. Chainsaw Man, like, Chainsaw Man just being over feels very weird to me, because, like, I started reading it, like, a late 2022, which was, like, a big, like, formative time for me. Like, I kind of don't even recognize the person that I was before I started reading it. So it being done kind of feels weird. Also, I started Legend of the Strongest Kurosawa last night. I read the first, like, 2 chapters of it. They're very good. They're very good. I haven't read anything by Fukumoto before, but I'm fucking with him a lot. Seems like the kind of thing that can, like, very easily hit me for crit damage, even though I'm not a 44-year-old construction worker. Nor do I have plans to be. How did that not freeze it? The Chainsaw Man reread is, like, very rejuvenating, if only because it reminded me that I'm actually capable of consuming media. A girl who is capable of engaging with fiction again. After however long of just Mega Man, ROM hacks, Rivals of Aether 2, and Tetris the Grandmaster 4. Surely this means I finish Umideko. Surely this means I lock in on Umideko and finish it in like a couple months. That's absolutely not what this means, but let me be delusional. Yeah, I think if I were to ever go for the full game on this, I would kind of just tank the inconsistency in this stage, to some extent. Out of necessity, really? Like, this seems like it can only get so consistent. So I'd be willing to do stuff that's not super consistent in exchange for getting attempts out of here quicker. It's kind of a trade you have to make sometimes. At least in Mega Man. I don't know about other challenge games because I never really got to the point where I'm like considering stuff this much. I guess you could just stand there. If you have like balls of steel, you can just do that. Sure. If I don't get this segment by midnight, I'll pivot. Alright, back to the manga thing. I have like a couple series on my radar. Now that after reading Chainsaw Man, I actually feel compelled to read stuff. The main ones I'm looking at are like Fire Punch as like a big one now that Chainsaw Man is done, since that's like... I've had Fire Punch on the docket for a while, I just never got around to it. But now that Chainsaw Man is done, I feel more compelled to look into it, because... Besides that, all I got left from Fujimoto is one-shots. And then besides that, there's also the Climber slash Koko no Hido. Whatever you want to call it. And what was the other one I was eyeing up? I've been thinking about getting back to Space Brothers, because I know Space Brothers is also supposed to end soon. I got like 150 chapters into it, and I feel like based on those 150 chapters, when I finally finish it, it's going to be my favorite manga ever. Maybe I would feel differently if I read those chapters now, but... Because I started in like 2023. And I've just like read it on and off since then, but it's just very much the kind of thing that I haven't like fucked with. It kind of feels like the sort of thing that like would work with like anyone. Like if you were to like go through it and not connect with it at all, I would kind of be like, do you even have a heart? Like, it is kind of just like a follow your dream story, but it is like the most in-depth, exploring every avenue possible, like following your dream story there is how I would explain it. Also, apparently the anime is supposed to come back on after they finish the manga. Like, the anime has 99 episodes, which is kind of crazy, considering it was like... I think the anime came out in like 2013. They weren't doing like super long anime batches by then. I think the anime covers like roughly the first 200 chapters? Maybe a bit less. Maybe like 180, 190. I don't know how viable it is going to be for them to like do the rest, but I just hope it is. The story of how I found Space Brothers is really funny. Literally, I would just like... I found this one guy who was doing like a Chainsaw Man analysis series that was actually good. Like, not like a plot summary, oh, here's, this happens, this happens, this happens. Like, actually going into it, explaining how everything, like, fits together, like, arc by arc. And, like, even, like, looking at, like, the paneling, and even, like, explaining some stuff that, like, he probably could have handled better and whatnot. It was, like, really informative. So I checked his channel, and he had a spreadsheet of his favorite manga. And he had Space Brothers at a 10 out of 10 with, like, the note, probably the best manga of all time, but we're not ready for that conversation. And I was like, I'll take your word, I respect what you have to say, I'll take your word. And then I read, like, the first, like, 50 or so chapters, and I was like, oh, that's not ridiculous to say that. I really gotta finish it. It ends in, like, 3 chapters from now, I think? But it's a monthly release, so that's not as long as it... not as near as it sounds. It's kind of been in this phase of almost ending since I picked it up, is the thing. Also, it's not even just like a manga thing that like rereading Chainsaw Man inspired me to like feel like I can actually read stuff again. I have so many fucking books that I need to read. I got like at one night I just kind of realized I need to like make a spreadsheet of everything that I own but I haven't read yet, and it was like almost 30 books. And it's like, huh, I gotta lock the fuck in. One of them I am gonna like read for like a school assignment. It's like an assignment for my English class where it's just like you have a book that you pick a book basically, and then you just like write an essay on it, like on your own time, like entirely separate from the coursework. Like not separate from the coursework, but like separate from what's being discussed in class. We have to do one of those every quarter. Quarter 1 I did Siddhartha, quarter 2 I did Dorian Gray. Quarter 3 I did Song of Solomon, but I couldn't finish the book in time, so I just like spark notes the back half of it. But I got like a 40 out of 50 on the paper, so like beast mode, I guess. I do still want to read Song of Solomon at some point, like actually properly like internalize it. Because what I did read was really good, I just didn't have the time to finish it, and I was like too scatterbrained to find time to read. That's the thing for me, partially. Like, when I'm scatterbrained, I just flat out can't make sense of what I'm reading. And I've been, like, scatterbrained a decent portion of the year. Primarily because of school stuff. So, like, not a great combination, but I've been fucking it out. How is that? What? What the hell? Okay, it's getting close to midnight, so I'll probably pivot soon. I'm kind of surprised I'm not getting as many, as many boss fight entries now. I thought I'd be getting more, considering how quickly I got the first one and the second one. I think it's just rooms that I didn't really think much about being, like, more of a problem than I thought they would be. Like the Squid mini-boss room and the room after. I think once I get past the Squid mini-boss, it's not that bad. Or, like, just specifically to the back half of the stage, really. I say getting hit the very start of the back half of the stage. Probably only gonna do like 1 or 2 more attempts before pivoting to Tomahawk. I think my learning method is gonna be, for like Mega Man in general, is gonna be like get every single stage in the game in the order I'm gonna do them in my routes, and then from there start doing segment practice from the end. Okay, it's midnight. Let's just take care of this fight and then start playing Tomahawk. This has been a very Type A chatter stream, I'm noticing. Or I guess, or not in, like, actual chatter was present, but I've just been talking about the game almost exclusively. Which, to be fair, Knight just gives you a lot to talk about as a stage in a fight. Okay. State 9. Just see how this plays out. Okay, so now we gotta do the, like, state folder, like, transfer stuff. It's Tomahawk, okay. Close CTRL plus X, CTRL plus C. This first room kind of seems like Guardian Blade show. Oh, is there anything you can do about that? As I play this more, I'm very thankful that I'm not doing this Buster only. Buster only on this sounds kinda nightmarish, I can't lie. I'm just trying to curb my Buster usage, just for practicality's sake. Okay, so that room is just a non-factor and you have to be hugging the wall. I think that's all it is. God, I gotta put the fucking save thing there. Jesus. I think a weird thing about doing like a Mega Man no-hit stuff versus like Celeste or whatever is just like you have no clue if no-hitting a thing is possible until you like sit down and do it. Like if something's giving you trouble, you just have to like be like, is this even like possible? Like you don't you're not given the privilege of like this is by default possible because I am doing golden attempts. Or like I am attempting to golden this. And by virtue of that I have cleared the map, so I know that it is at least in theory possible to do everything deathless. You just flat out don't know if stuff is possible deathless. It's a weird feeling. Oh, this is where you swap the Guardian Blade. This is the Guardian Blade show. Is it actually? Okay, do it on diagonals. That's the takeaway. you have to make sure there that you actually hit it with your Guardian Blade. I guess you can do that if you want style points. Is it completely random how long these shoot for? Okay, we're gonna have to figure out what to do about that. What to do is probably just use Guardian Blade, to be honest. Just kind of like spam it and it hits. Okay. And we're at the pulse. I think Tomahawk should be easier than Knight. Still not easy, but easier. Actually, I should at least try the fight with Guardian Blade just to see what it feels like. I don't think it's gonna be any good, but... So half the time you get hit for... half the time when you actually hit him, you're in contact range. You can't do anything. Horrible idea for a no damage run. Making sure that there wasn't anything I was missing. It is really funny that we're gonna fight like 4 out of the 8 bosses in this game without The hell? Is that my computer or something? I thought I was about the blue screen. Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, if I were to go for a full game on this, I think this would be a very unfun early game. I think pre-jet suit in this game seems very, meat grindery. And I don't think I would have much fun with it. Which sucks, because, like, once you get jet suit, this game is, like, really fun to, like, crack wide open. Maybe I just get better and I figure out this is all a complete skill issue, but who's to say? Is this fight deterministic, or am I just getting the same RNG values every time? Okay, I was just getting the same RNG values every time. Okay, if you're quartered, you're just kind of boned for feathers. Solution, just don't get cornered. Yeah, this does seem like it does have the be able to play 2 thing going on, where if you're in a bad situation, it is your fault for being in that situation in the first place. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks that you gotta tank that, but if you played better, you wouldn't even be having to tank that in the first place. This does seem like a way harder early game than being able to play 2 early game. Sleeper top 1? There's a part of me that's wondering if it'd be more fun if I just, like, push this off to, like, push early game off to the side and then did late game. Like, starting at X1. X-Stage will just look really fun. I could maybe see myself going for, like, X1 to end at some point. It's like a montage clip. Maybe not a montage clip, but, like, just kind of a for fun thing. Spirit of Hacker Silver 2. I guess you can do that. trying to jump over that consistently. I know that's not the play. This is also, like, reaffirming to me why it's important to scout stuff out before you grind it. Because I was, like, considering this as a, like, future, like, new harness or something. I don't think I'm considering it after this. Because of this early game. Maybe if I have a massive skill boost. But I just don't think I would find this early game very fun. I'd probably, like, look around for something that's more enjoyable. I don't like the jumps. Honestly, I might end the stream sooner than I thought I was going to. I think I'm just getting more tired playing this than I thought I would. I wasn't really familiar with early games, so to speak. Actually, I think jumping over feathers is the play secretly. Also, if you're in the corner, just like don't do any directional inputs, if you can help it. Actually, knowing that, maybe it's a good thing to be in the corner because it like simplifies everything. It's literally just jump whenever there's any telegraph. But also, if you're too cornered, then it's just a foregone conclusion that you're gonna get hit, basically. Actually, can you use Guardian Blade to, like, force yourself out of the corner? If so, that might be its, like, best asset in this fight. Never mind, you, like... Or maybe if you go, like, up diagonal. Guardian Blade is a lot worse than I thought it would be. It's the big takeaway. I think it's just that Jet Suit is so good. Because of, like, how much it lets you avoid. Okay, yeah, up diagonal Guardian Blade to escape the corner is viable. As, like, a, future note. Granted, I don't think that's gonna be that useful, because like, why would you do that when you can just use Jet? But, good to know. Good to know. Like, you are jetting the shit out of this in refights. The thing is, you have to do it preemptively for, like, when you're cornered. You have to dodge preemptively. But if you dodge preemptively when he's, like, about to jump, then you just eat shit. So it probably is still better to try and prioritize escaping the corner. Oh, and also you can just do that. You can just say fuck you, but gambling seems better. Like, gambling on that seems like a better bet than gambling on something. Maybe just, like, go straight? Same thing happens. You really do just gotta tank that, I think. It's a very, like, conflicting fight. If you're, like, more than a half screen away, or, like, if he's... Like, if you're in this range, you want to be up close so that you can get out of the corner. But then it's, like, super hard to react to what he's actually doing, so... Kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Man, I cannot shake the feeling that this early game would be completely abysmal. Maybe it's like a routing thing, but I can't think of any other fights that would be better to do Buster only. Planted Centaur, hell no. If you're just like in the corner, it kind of feels like you're just fucked sometimes. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play other sections of the game tomorrow. Like, if these fights had good weaknesses, I would be able to route them later, but they don't. Their weaknesses are just outright worse than doing the fights with Buster. Getting their weaknesses, like, getting Knight's weakness, even if it was good, would require routing around trying to take care of Centaurs. Also, I think early game is just kind of destined to suck shit. This kind of seemed like a case of, like, love the hack, hate the no-out. Like, this is a very good hack, I would say. It's just kind of an abysmal no-hit, looking like. Judging by the route you kind of have to take. Like, you have to deal with this Sight Buster only. You basically don't have any other choice. If late game isn't fun, I'll probably just call this off. Honestly. Because I don't want to, like, burden myself with doing something for a full week that I'm not having fun with. This is why scouting is important. If scout something out and you don't like it, you can just drop it with no shame. That's what this series is, basically. It's just scouting. Like, you can always just drop things, but, like, the weight is much less, I guess, scary, or, like, it doesn't feel like as big of a decision when it's just something you scouted out, rather than something you actually consider yourself to be doing attempt/practice of. If that makes sense. I'd assume it does. I'd assume you'll know what it's like. I think I'll give this a couple more attempts and then I'll just end stream, because gotta keep it $100, I'm just not having fun with this. I don't doubt that it's in theory possible to get consistent at this, I just don't think I'm at a point where I could. Like, I thought Tomahawk was going to be easier to get consistent at than Knight. Do I just try and find a way to make Guardian Blade work on the boss? Like, just like constantly spamming up diagonals? Nope! Just not viable. I don't think anyway. I'll like lab it out to be 100% sure, but... yeah, it just does not seem viable in the fucking slightest. To use the weapon that is his weakness without putting yourself in danger every single time you attack him. It's fucking Mega Man 3 Shadow Man all over again. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it here. Would love to be having more fun with this, but I'm kinda not enjoying early game in this, so tomorrow when I do this I'm gonna try X stages. If X stages aren't fun, I'm just gonna call this off and act like this never happened. Maybe I do some other Mega Man stuff during spring break, but I don't know. No promises. I have something in mind. I have something in mind that isn't a full game grind. It's like chip away atable. Chip out. Yeah, chip it way atable. That's how that works, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it here. Thanks for tuning in, but I'm just not having a good time. The thing I had in mind that was like chip away atable might not even be attemptable right now because it's... Or like I could do it, but it would be annoying to do.